Hey, this is Lysandra Everett here, and I wanted to shoot this video as the next installment in my SIDS diary. Today, I wanted to share with you about having children after SIDS. Now, nobody can tell you when you're going to be ready to have other children. You might be ready to have children right away. You might want to wait a while. For me, it took 12 years before I was ready to, to have another child. And it was more or less because when I had my daughter, I was young. I was 20 years old. And so I needed to make sure that I was in a position to care for a child. And that was more of it. It wasn't, anything other than that, but I wanted to be able to make sure I was in a position to take care of a child. And to kind of share with you what happens, right? Normally, at the time that you decide to have more children, you are definitely in a better place about the loss of your child. And when I say a better place, meaning that things have gotten better and you're really not in the thick of grieving. One of the concerns that was expressed to me was whether or not I was looking at my son as a replacement for my daughter. And nothing can replace that child, but that just might be what some people are thinking around you. And it's just because they don't know, right? Unless they've experienced it, they don't know. So only you can decide when you're ready. Now, the doctors, when my son was born, I had a healthy pregnancy. Everything went fine, a normal, very quick delivery. But, the doctor was very well aware of the SIDS death, and he sent home an apnea monitor. And, and they give you the whole spiel of what to do. Make sure the crib, the child is just laying on a crib sheet. There are no blankets or pillows or anything like that in the crib. It's just a sheet and, on the bed, and the baby is dressed warm enough to sleep in, bumper pads and all that. But, and you may put the crib in your room. They will also, talk to you about sleeping, having the child sleep on their back, and all of those things that reduce the risks of a SIDS death. They're also going to send you home with an apnea monitor, which you put the electrodes around the baby's chest and heart, exactly where I don't remember. But they do that so that if the child stops breathing, that this alarm will go off. And I did that for a while with my son. But after about 2 weeks, I looked down at him and I saw these, electrodes attached to him, and I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't continue. I almost felt like I was punishing him. I know I wasn't, but that was just how it felt in my mind, that I felt like I was punishing him because I had lost my child. So I could not go on in good conscience having him attached to this monitor. So I wound up sending that thing away, and I just made the conscious decision that, you know what, there's nothing that I would be able to do to stop my child from dying if that what was supposed to happen, if that was God's will. But on the flip side, though, I held him every night. I slept with him on my chest every night until he got too big for me to breathe. And that was probably about 6 months. So for 6 months, every night I laid with him on my chest and I slept in the same position. I had felt in my mind that if that was his last night on earth, that he would spend it with me. And I was in an okay place with that. But that does not have to be you. That is simply my story. Having the apnea monitor is a good idea. It really is, because it's, and it might just offer you that peace of mind. But, and just because you had a child die of SIDS does not mean that there's something wrong with you. That doesn't mean that you did something wrong. And it doesn't mean that you will lose other children. It just means that it happened. And so, I said all that to say, if you feel like you're ready to experience motherhood again after your child has died, go for it. And, take all the precautions, the things to do, and just, love that child, love them, and love them hard. I mean, I look at my children now, they're 10 and 5, and sometimes they just drive me up a wall, right? They fight, they cry, they whine, and at that very moment when I feel like I'm about to just lose my mind, I simply remember that I could not hear them fighting at all. I could not hear them screaming at all. I could never hear their voices or see their faces again. And that gives me that extra patience and love for my children. I definitely, if I did not appreciate children before, I definitely appreciate them now. And so that's the thought of that helps to keep me sane and keep me in place. So, for lack of a better term. So I really hope this helps you. And for, if you are a family member watching this, don't feel like this, the mom here is trying to replace a lost child. There is no replacement for that. It just doesn't work that way, because no matter what, you're always going to miss the child that you lost, and there is no making up for that with another child. So I really hope that this helps you in your decisions and understanding, what's going to happen when the new child comes, as far as, the monitors and all of that stuff. So I hope this helps you out. I would love to connect with you. So click on my Facebook link below. I would love to connect with you on Facebook, and especially if you need somebody to chat with or talk to. So I'd like to be there for you if you need someone. Okay, so this is Lysandra Everett signing off. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.